Hello, and thank you very much, and welcome back to English Fun Academy, where today we're going to be talking about the past simple tense, and this is use number 5. Okay, we're covering 5 uses of the past simple tense, and this is number 5. If you haven't watched the other videos, please watch them to get all the uses of the past simple tense. So this is this one specifically is the past simple tense, use number 5, in the second conditional. So this use number 5 is in the second conditional. Conditional sentences are as follows. These are some examples of of sentences in the past simple using the second conditional. Okay, so the first one is, if I lived in Paris, I would speak French every day. If I lived in Paris, I would speak French every day. So if and would, okay? And you'll notice with these sentences that you can also reverse them. So if you use if at the beginning, okay? If I lived in Paris, comma, I would speak French every day. Then you need the comma. If you do it the other way, I would speak French every day if I lived in Paris, well, then you don't need the comma, okay? But this is the format of a conditional sentence. So this this second part depends on the first part. So I would speak French every day only if I lived in Paris. Okay, if I did not live in Paris, I would not speak French every day. So conditional means that the second part actually depends on the first part. If the if clause is first. Okay, if that makes sense. All right, so again, this is the second conditional. Here's the second example. You would make new friends if you learned English. You would make new friends if you learned English. You would make new friends if you learned English. So this is an example of a sentence that is reversed. Okay, the if clause is second, not first. So you don't need a comma. You would make new friends if you learned English. Okay? If the if clause was first, and it would still be a correct sentence, if you learned English, capital I, if you learned English, comma, you would make new friends. So you can actually reverse the order of these sentences. Okay? So now the first clause, the first part of the sentence is dependent on the second part. Okay? Only if you learned English would you make new friends. No, not that you couldn't make friends if you didn't learn English, but that's what the sentence is saying. All right, so the third example is, if we earned more money, we would travel more often. Okay, so this is another example where the if clause is first. If we earned more money, we would travel more often. So again, the second clause, the second half of the sentence, is dependent on the first one. Okay, and again, you're using the past tense. Earned more money, we would. Okay, we would travel more often. Okay, so again, you're using the past simple with these conditional sentences with the second conditional. Okay. Just remember to spell the past tense verbs correctly as you use them. Okay. The fourth example: if we had the time, if he had the time, he would visit his mom more often. So again, another example where the if clause is first. Okay. So the first part of the sentence is dependent on the second. So he would visit his mom more often if he had more time. So he could only visit his mom more often if he had more time. He doesn't have more time, clearly. So he can't visit his mom more often. Okay. Only if he had more time could he visit his mom more often. So the second part is dependent on the first part. Okay, if that makes sense. That's why it's conditional. The second occurrence, the second happening is dependent or conditional on the first part happening. Okay, if he had more time, he could visit his mom more often. He clearly doesn't have more time, so he can't visit his mom more often. All right, and this is another one where it's reversed. The if clause is second, so you don't need a comma. My father would lose weight if he exercised more often and ate less. Okay, so again, the past tense verbs would, exercised, and ate. Okay, and you don't need a comma because my father would lose weight if. So the if clause is second. Okay, so this one, now the first part of the sentence is dependent on the second part. Oh, excuse me. The second part of the sentence is dependent on the first part. So my father would only lose weight if he exercised more often and ate less. Okay, he's clearly not doing that now, so he's not going to lose weight, is what it's saying. Okay, he'll only lose weight. He would only lose weight if he exercised more often and ate less, which he isn't doing now. That's why it's conditional. It's conditional on something changing, some behavior changing, some action changing, or something changing, okay? All right, so again, this is the past simple use number 5 in the second conditional. It's a little more difficult than the other uses of the past tense because you're using the conditional, which can be a little bit challenging because you have to remember that one thing is dependent on the other thing for something to change or for something to happen, okay? All right, here's a little bit more detail, a little bit more explanation about this use number 5. We use the past simple tense as part of phrases using the second conditional. These are all examples of phrases in the second conditional, sentences and phrases in the second conditional, okay? So one more time, we use the past simple tense as part of phrases using the second conditional. If one thing happens, then something else can happen. Okay? But if that doesn't happen, then the other thing won't happen. That's why it's conditional. Okay? Okay, so I hope that's pretty clear. That is the past simple tense, use number 5. Again, if you haven't watched numbers 1 through 4 of the usage of the past simple tense, please watch those ones first. This is number 5. And I hope that you watch the other ones, and I hope you watch this one again to fully understand this one and what's going on. If you have any comments, please comment on this one, and if you have any issues understanding the conditional or the past tense or the spelling of the words in the past tense, as there was quite a lot of variations in the spelling in the past simple tense. But anyway, thank you. This is Byron, and I really appreciate you joining me. And please work as hard as you can in learning English, and stick to it, and don't give up. There's a lot of rules. There's a lot of variation. But thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening or day or afternoon or wherever you are. Thank you.